Welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods, proudly supported by Just Car Insurance.
Now recently we put a racing driver in our MX-5 and took it around the track to get some feedback on what he thought might improve it.
So in the coming episodes we're going to be doing all of the mad mods to get the car up to proper race car driver specs, but before we do that, it is safety first, and today we're going to be installing a roll bar. Tell us all about it, Martin.
Now roll bars and roll cages are safety equipment that you put in your car.
It's like a ball cage, isn't it? You know people get those ball cages, have you seen them? It's like a thing that's like a chastity belt for a guy. It goes around with a lock on it. It's to stop it. Sorry, back to it.
Well, it basically serves the same purpose. You want it to protect the most important thing.
That's right.
Exactly. And in which case this is human. So they're a safety item that help with the structural rigidity of a car, and particularly in the event of a rollover. So there's roll cages that cover the entire thing, or in the case of a little convertible like this, a roll bar which goes over the back.
Even half cages. So there's a whole lot of different options, because if you don't have one and you're on the track, basically you're tripping goat's balls. Do you know why they say tripping goat's balls?
Why do they say tripping balls?
Because do you know what a group of goats is called?
A herd?
No, it's called a trip.
Is it?
Yeah. That's a true story.
This is our 1990 MX-5 that we rescued from the wreckers, fixed and then turbocharged using the TD04 turbo from my Forester. We've got a bunch of mods planned for it so we can smash it around the track, but we don't want to smash it at the track, so we're starting with a roll bar. Safety first.
Okay, so this roll bar that we've got here is an MX-5 specific one, and it's really cool because it fits under a soft top and under a hard top. Now this not only increases the structural rigidity of your car, it also has a bunch of mad features. Now this is a single hoop design, and that means that it just has one piece going around here. You've probably seen in some cars, S2000s and things, when people are installing those, they have two hoops going through here. But the design of this is really cool because it gives you the safety, but it also means you can see through it as well. It comes with the different brackets and things that go on the parcel tray. Total install time is going to be about 2 hours, and the cost for something like this is about $700. I do want to stress again that depending on what country or territory you're in, there are a lot of different rules and regulations about safety, so depending on where you are, make sure you check with an engineer or mechanic or your governing body for automotive madness on the right way to put these in, and make sure it's checked for the safety of you and your balls.
These are the tools you're going to need. You're going to need some screwdrivers and trim removal tools. You need various pliers. You're also going to need some spanners and a socket set. You're going to need some adhesive. We're using windscreen sealant because it's all we've got, but it's gluey and mad. We've also got a pop rivet gun and rivets. And
is that the pop rivet gun we put my shed together with?
It is, that's why we got it.
That's awesome.
That put together an entire shed.
Awesome. Sorry, Martin, that work.
That's okay. Now these funny looking things, that is a drill.
That's not that funny looking.
Is a really? Right. Well, that is.
That's a right angle drill bit, Martin.
Yeah, and that you can get from a hardware shop for like $15 or $20, and it does the job. But ideally, use one of these bad boys, which is a right angle drill bit that runs on air. If you have a compressor, I'd recommend one of these, because we need to get under the soft top, and there's not much room. A normal drill will not do it. If you're going to leave your soft top in, you have to have one of these.
Yeah, but if you don't have one of them, you can get one of these. What? $50?
50 or less, and then it attaches to your drill like that, and goes, and then.
I want to see it work, Martin. Let's just go there. Let's just be semi-professional and show the people. We're not professional.
Real professionals would have.
Yeah, semi-professional.
Ah, I just dropped it.
Balls.
Butterfingers. Look at that.
Alright. That's awesome. Alright, Martin.
Our roll bar is a single hoop torque box design that uses steel with a 2.5mm wall thickness. If you need proof that these things work, there's plenty of photos around on the internet showing wrecked MX-5s with intact roll bars, and people that have walked away to tell the tale. You can install the bar with the soft top in place, which saves a lot of work, but the rear parcel shelf carpet has to come out. A few plastic trim plugs are all that stand in your way. With the carpet out, next it's time to remove the top seatbelt bolts. Some roll bars use these as mount points. Ours uses the hole next to the seatbelt and comes with a metal mounting plate and captive nut that goes up under the seatbelt support. Captive nut? Yes, that sounds very uncomfortable. You may need to drill out the plastic where the new bolt will sit. A step drill munches plastic like a hungry vegan at a tofu festival. Next up, we test fit the new mounts and the roll bar. The interior trims are marked and then removed so we can drill them out to reveal the factory holes underneath.
Now, depending which model of MX-5 you have, you may need to make these holes that the roll bar support goes through a little bit bigger. In some models which come with the factory cross brace, you don't need to do anything. With ours, we need to put in these captive nuts up underneath so the roll bar can go through and get bolted in like that.
So it's worth mentioning that even though JDM cars are all metric, a lot of seatbelts still use Imperial. So you might need to get yourself some Imperial Shizuoka. And this one here is 5/8. And look at that, it's wearing a condom. A very ill-fitting one. It's full of hair, which is a bit weird.
Clean up the surface where the captive nut plates are going to go with some wax and grease remover. Then crack out your sticky stuff. And just for the record, I don't think I want to eat nuts off a plate.
So we're using a step drill bit, or a Christmas tree bit, as Turbo Yoda refers to them. We did a bit of a story about these in the Mighty Car Mods magazine, so you can check them out, but they're very handy. You may have also seen us use these when we were putting a hole in the sump of the MX-5 so it could run the Mad Forester turbo on it. We're just putting the holes in these plastic trim so that everything can get bolted up and be super mad and super safe and awesome on the track.
Check you've got the holes in the right place before bolting everything back in.
Okay, so one tricky part of this install is getting this mounting bolt just right. So we've marked where that hole is and we're going to drill through and then rivet it on, but we're not riveting on this side, we're riveting on the back.
We're riveting, Martin, like a frog, aren't we?
No mate, riveting.
All right.
It's like a riveting video like you're watching now.
Do you know what you call a whole group of frogs?
Spawn of frogs.
Just a lot of frogs. Sorry, as you were.
So yeah, so that goes in there and then we rivet it, which holds it in, and there's some adjustability as well, and then the bolt goes through the roll bar and through like that, and it's bolted in.
Rivet.
Pop rivet tools are cheap and come in handy when doing metal work, particularly sheet metal work. The bar is then test fitted again and the rear support plates marked so we can drill the parcel shelf. It's possible to do this with the roll bar in place, but much easier with it out. Use your right angle drill or drill adapter and a 10mm drill bit to make the holes. Get in the boot and remove the fuel line cover and insert the bolts through the parcel shelf.
All right, so all the mounting points have been marked, drilled, and put in the car. So what's next, Martin?
All we have to do is lift the roll bar in there and bolt it all up.
With all the holes drilled, the interior of the car can go back together. The roll bar can then be lifted into place and the front bolts tightened.
So now that the roll bar is bolted into the front of the car, all we got to do is put these plates under the back of the parcel shelf, bolt it in, and we're all done.
The bloody roll bar in the way.
I know, it's annoying, isn't it?
Oh, can you feel that?
Yeah.
Is it coming through?
Yeah, just screw it a bit more.
I'm trying to put it in.
Just turn it more, dude.
Get some help to hold in the rear mounting plates while tightening the bolts from above.
So Marty, that is a pretty mad mod, considering it's just a couple of hours to put in $700. Now, obviously, it's not going to give you as much protection as a full cage,
Exactly.
but very mad, moderate protection for what it is.
Exactly right. You're not just relying on this anymore to keep the entire car. If you're upside down, all you've got is this, whereas now you've got an actual proper metal cage. There's always a lot of discussion when it comes to these things about, you know, the compromise between having a roll bar and not having a full cage and all the differences in the height. And you can get ones that are taller.
Yeah.
If you get taller, you can't put a soft top on, or you can't put a hard top on, or your seat has to come forward, in which case I can no longer fit in the car.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you've got to get something that fits you, and this is as well.
There's always going to be a compromise. I mean, you're talking about using a car at a track. It's not a proper race car, you know, like it's a street car that's being used for a purpose that it's not really intended for. Depending on your car, depending on the physiology of your body, depending on the height and design of this, there's going to be so many different variables. I mean, some cars even have, I think Mercedes and Peugeot, some of the newer ones, have like a hidden roll bar, and if the car detects that it's rolling over, like security bank screens, they shoot up in the middle.
So
it's
cool.
like, it's pretty awesome. And obviously people in tractors and stuff, they've been using roll bars for years.
Yeah, and like every single race car that's used competitively out there, professionally particularly, have cages. They have roll bars because you just have to have that. You know? And I feel a lot more comfortable being on a track having that than not having it at all.
Oh, exactly. The question is, there's a whole lot of levels of safety of which we've just done the first component. There's so much you can do. But the question is, if you roll, do you want a properly engineered roll bar above you or do you want nothing? And the answer is you want that.
Yeah. Mad, let's go to the track.
Mad?
So there it is, a mad, cheap and effective mod to make your car just that little bit safer.
Now, I can't stress enough that every country, every territory has different laws regarding car modifications, engineering and safety. So please check with your local expert or authority before doing things like this to your car to make sure that your balls and your head are safe. Now, next up, Marty, we've actually got to do the mad supporting and performance mods for the next episode, where we're going to see the car back on the track with a race car driver again to see if the things that we've done have made it madder. So now we need to get back to doing the mods. There's a pile of them right there, Martin. I think we should get to it. Oh, and one more thing. I found out that a group of frogs is called an army. That's, you know, we were talking about it before. They're called an army of frogs. And toads, they're called a knot of toads. K-N-O-T. So there you go, delicious. Some people eat frogs, Martin.
Hey,
like
dude,
in France,
what's the...
and in China they eat their legs and stuff. I tried to eat one once. I licked it. I'm turning it more, but I can't feel you on the other end of it.
That's in now, do the other
No,
one.
you're pushing the wrong hole.
Do the other one, mate.
I'm trying to push it, but I can't get my hand around it.
Put it in the other hole.
I'm pushing the hole at the back.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, this one.
And then screw that around.
That's the one my hand's on, but I'm pushing it in, but can you feel
Yeah,
it?
that one's good. Now go to the other hole.
Can you feel this one though?
No, I want to feel it in the other hole.
Dude, I want to make sure you can feel this one before I move it to the next hole. Otherwise, there's no use me even putting it in there.
I can definitely feel that one.
Oh, good. And now let's do this one around the front.
Okay.
Have you got this hole here around the front?
Yeah, stick it in that hole.
I am. I'm spinning it round. Can you feel it?
Yeah, does it feel like it's gripped?
Oh no, it's really loose.
Oh, okay.
Have you got your hand on the other end of it?
Usually.
No, now I need you to hold the end of it while I put this in.
Okay.
Have you got it?
Yeah.
I'm putting it in.
Go.
All right. Is that working?
I think it
It
is.
feels like it's getting tighter the more I push it in.
Good, now to go to the other one.
Okay, there's only one more to do and then I'll be done, I reckon.
Righto.
Oh, I got a sore arm, man.
Already?
Oh,